Hi guys, I'm back. Let's restart the timer, the stopwatch, a new lap, because today is a new day. And let's get down to business. Actually, I want to read an article first, so maybe I'll just fast forward through this section and right. So there is some parallelism in cloud code, but you don't have access to customize it. It's good to keep in mind, and maybe use the task keyword from now on when it's a parallel kind of task. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, let's get down to business. So let's open up VS Code. Got a complaint from some of you guys that said the writing is too small, but the point is not to read the code. I provide GitHub access for all of that. The point is to understand my workflow and see what you guys can take from it, right? But yeah, when I'll be diving into some of the important code, maybe I can make it bigger. Let's see. IntelliJ, we don't use IntelliJ. Rainbow, there's no more rainbows. Disable. Right. Let's see if the app still runs. Actually, I'm gonna run it in a different terminal, I think. Right, so the app is running. I'll put it right here so the timers don't bother me. And let's start the simulator. How do you start the simulator? It's I, right? Open iOS simulator, press I. Yes. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Right. Now let's go to the authentication and see what's going on. Sign in with your Apple ID. So I need to sign in my simulator, right? Yeah, I'll take it off screen so I don't give you my password or something. Sign in manually. Password, I think. Two-factor authentication. Allow. Great, so now I'm signed in into the simulator. We don't need contacts or any other shenanigans. We're just trying to sign in our new app. Let's see, sign in failed, right. Sign in failed the first time because I didn't have an account, but now let's try it again. And sure, share my email, continue with pass. What? Whatever. Now, if I wasn't I wasn't on a simulator, Face ID would have done the job more easily, but signing failed. Unable to sign in with Apple. Please try again. So we have an error. Hey, why can't I make this bigger? Error during Apple sign-in, authentication, unknown reason. Error fetching user. So it's trying to fetch a user from... Yeah, let's give this error to cloud code. MCP servers may execute code. New MCP server found. Ah, yeah, we added MCP Supabase, right? Future MCP story in this project. Yes. Right. So we got this error when we're running our app. I think it's because we haven't set up anything in our Supabase project. Go ahead and make the database and necessary tables in our Supabase project. You have MCP access. I don't think I'll have write access and creation access in Supabase, but I read somewhere that if I specifically give it admin access or something by prompting it, it should work. That will be interesting. Let me search files that might contain database interactions. Yeah. Database, Supabase service. Let's see what's in here. Get help documents. Yeah, but what's the schema? Schema. There's no schema. Services. All service. Scripts, hooks, assets, app. Maybe in types, document, yeah. So we have some types in here. Normalize health data. Let's see what cloud code comes up with. Let's take a look at this first screen of the app. Should be this one, layout. So there's a login screen and there's the API key. And that's the second one when we specify our Gemini API key. Login. But actually, I don't think, yeah, that would be too technical to ask for a Gemini key. I'll just use my Gemini key and assume I won't have a ton of users that could bankrupt me. Yeah, let's see how the MCP is working. Apply migration. Now what's that? Tool use. Do you want to proceed? Yes, and don't ask again. Cannot apply migration in read-only mode. Right, I see Supabase is in read-only. Let me check what tools are available and see if different. Yes, unfortunately, read-only, it's a pain in the butt. Do you want to proceed? Yes. It seems I don't have proper authorization to execute SQL directly. Let me check Supabase documentation. Yeah, it's because of that MCP. I need to get rid of the read-only thing. Since I can't directly execute SQL, they seem to require authentication, and I need to provide the user with the SQL commands. Nah, I don't want to do it myself. How to get full access for my MCP Supabase MCP that's accessed through Cloud Code. So I see it's creating an SQL for me to run. Open changes and vision. Do you want to make it? Yes, and the task again. Yes. Worst case scenario, I need to apply the SQL myself in Supabase. It created the SQL. And it created also a documentation file. It also needs a storage bucket. What is that for? In your Supabase dashboard, create a private held documents. But I don't think I want to keep all these documents. Right. To gain full access to your Supabase model context protocol, set up integrated with Cloud Code, follow the steps. Create a personal access. I did that already. By default, read only. To enable full access, modify the in Cloud Code. Oh, so it's possible. So it is possible. Let's check it out. AMP MCP servers, right? So I think it created a JSON. Yep. MCP servers. So this one is a bit different. MPX. Supabase access token. Your personal access token. So I should have provided that here too. Project reference. So it's a bunch of things missing in here, I think. By default, Supabase MCP server operates in read-only. To enable full access, modify the MCP server configuration. Your personal access. Omitting the read-only flag grants full access. But why did you change the name from MCP servers to AMP MCP servers? And Anthropic updated Cloud Code, especially around version, and they shifted the configuration strategy, nesting all MCP latest settings under AMP for better names. Okay, so I'll update the MCP server, and I'll complete my access tokens in here, but I'll do that offline. And also I need to get rid of the MCP JSON, exclude it from git ignore. So let's open git ignore, and our second exclusion, it will be MCP mcp.json. As you can see, mcp.json shouldn't be it's still on commit list for now. Cancel. Right, so if I stage the changes, actually I'll commit it just as it is for now. I'll get rid of all this SQL stuff because I don't want to do that manually. I want my MCP server to do it. So let's commit. Let's say git commit adds MCP JSON to ignored list. Let's push it. Right, so now if I open MCP and I make a modification, for example this one, it still appears in the changes. What's going on? MCP JSON. Do I need to delete it first from? Let's try it. Let's delete it. Move to trash. Now there's a deletion change. Let's commit this one. Git commit them. Delete MCP JSON from repo. Git push. Right, and now if I make a new MCP file, MCP.json, and let's say I copy paste the server's thing, nothing appears to be committed. All right, I'll take this offline and I'll complete my sensitive data in the MCP. What if I put it on screen by mistake? How can I lock a file so it won't be opened by VS Code? To prevent a file from being opened, you can use the following methods and set the file to read only the file system. By making it can prevent accidental modifications. However, it doesn't stop file from being opened. Use workspace trust and restricted mode. VS Code workspace trust feature allows you to open fold lock editor panes to prevent unwanted file openings. Yeah, so hopefully I remember not to show that specific specific file to you guys. So yeah, let me go ahead and modify the set file. Xcode would like access, yeah, whatever. Also open this one. Great. So we got this one here, we got this one here, right. So Supabase project reference, your project ref, what does that mean? Replace your project ref with your Supabase project reference ID. There's no, I need to go to Supabase for that. Supabase dashboard. Personal, my health iOS. Right. Is it in database? No. Is it project settings? Yeah, project ID. Is it this one? Your project reference ID. Yeah, I think it's this one. Copy. Right, and let's set it in the MCP. Alright, and also the access token, which is this one. Right, so now my MCP server looks fine. I'll save the changes and let's try and prompt cloud code again. Maybe we restart it first. That's annoying. Okay, so you have MCP access to my Supabase project. Go ahead and start all the necessary tables and database and SQL settings in my Supabase project. I'll help you set up all necessary tables. Create database schema. All the necessary SQL scripts. Create database schema. I wonder if there's an authentication table for holding the Apple sign-in UID. I really like Cloud Code. This project is really well maintained, and they always come up with new features and stuff. Open changes in Visual Studio Code. So it's doing an SQL. I don't want that. Don't create any SQL scripts. Just go ahead and use the Supabase MCP to do the changes directly. Yeah, so I was telling you, it's really well maintained. They always update it. This one, it's mostly bug fixes, but they always come up with new things. Yeah, actually it's hard to keep up with. They're so proficient with the changes. Yeah, and later I'll also like to show you the OpenAI tool, the codex. I like that one because, wait, yes. So codex from OpenAI, I like that because it's integrated in the ChatGPT app, right? So if you're not at your computer, you still can make changes to your code. It allocates a machine to you, and it just does the changes safely. You can check the executable. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how it works for mobile apps. I tried Codex with websites, and it was really a nice workflow, but maybe it will be trickier with mobile apps. So I'll have to figure it out, because you have to run from the branch that Codex just created. So you need to build an artifact, and yeah, it's much harder when you don't have access to the machine, right? But I want to figure that one too. Open changes in Visual Studio. What's going on, man? Yes, and don't ask again. Yeah, let it use an SQL schema. Hopefully it's just for him, and he'll be able to apply it himself. For when I used to run Cloud Code in a terminal window, but this version, when it's integrated into VS Code, it seems reluctant to do all the changes on my behalf, all the Supabase changes. I'll use the Supabase MCP to create all the necessary tables and database configuration directly. Let me start by setting up the database schema. Okay, so you did that. Now apply the changes. Auth user created, yeah, what I was curious about. Lots of tables, profiles, health metrics, medications, medication logs, appointments. Now we will have to trim this down. There's too many things we don't need. But let's see how it works. One line selected. Oh, so it has context. That's the beauty of the VS Code integration. It has context when you select lines. It can focus on that. Yeah, interesting. And it has the context of the file that's open, right? Yeah, I think it's a good thing, but again, it's creating a lot of files in here. I feel like it's telling me how to do it myself, and I don't like that. Let's see. How's the timer going? Alright, we've been working for half an hour. Maybe it's time for a break. so I can stretch my legs, but I need to know the MCP is working first. Yeah, so it would be really great if you guys follow along. If not, that's fine. I understand it can get boring, but mainly in designing the Cloud Opus 4 limit reach now using Sonnet. Oh, it was on Opus. I successfully set up your complete My Health database schema using Supabase MCP. The database is now ready with 10 core tables. Let me check if I don't see no tables in the project. Let's refresh. You only prepare the SQL scripts, but I checked the Supabase project and it has no tables whatsoever. Check if you really have access to my Supabase project via the MCP. I bet the MCP doesn't work. Yeah, so I was saying, eventually I'll need your feedback in like designing the product to really turn it into something useful. So yeah, any feedback would be appreciated. You're correct, I don't have access. Copy the SQL. Use the Supabase CLI to apply migration. Let me help you set up Supabase client in your app. Would you like me to guide you through? There's MCP. Oh, so maybe it didn't. Let's run the init command again. Maybe it didn't rescan the repo. So maybe it didn't notice. I've got rid of all this. SQL scripts. Now I have a comprehensive understanding of my health app structure, blah blah blah. Let's test the MCP functionality. See if the Supabase remote server MCP JSON. Why can't it see it? MCP.json. Yeah, so if I hit it from Git, maybe no Supabase MCP tool found. Could this be true? MCP JSON is right here, man. Check MCP.json file. Yes, so that's fine. When you're learning a new thing, it's okay to get stuck and things take longer. We don't have deadlines unless the self-imposed 5 days deadline counts. We don't have to deliver at a certain date, So I like to really go deep and figure out what are the bottlenecks and stuff. Finally, it seems to be working now. Issue: the Supabase are not available in the current sessions, even though they're configured. This means MCP is unloaded. To use the Supabase MCP, you will need to restart your Cloud Code session to load the MCP. Ensure that it's properly initialized. Check this. Okay, let's exit and restart. How do I connect to the MCP on from? How do I make sure Cloud Code in VSC is connected to my MCP servers? Enable MCP in VS Code. Open command, search for chat MCP enable. What? MCP support for chats. I don't want VS Code to be connected. I want Cloud Code. VS Code MCP JSON. Start aging mode. I don't care about all this. VS Code based MCP server. What? No. You misunderstand me. I want Cloud Code extension from VS Code to connect to my MCP servers. The config file is in mcp.json. Place MCP JSON in the right location. Project must contain. It does. Not hidden until VS Code. No. VS Code auto detects it thanks to auto discovery from Cloud Code. So ensure MCP JSON is checked into your project and sits in top level. What? I can start it if I open the JSON in VS Code. I'll take it offline and try it. I bet it's ChatGPT is bullshitting me. Yeah, I don't see no start button. That's crazy. Connect to this MCP server in MCP JSON file. I'll help you connect. Let me first read the file. Locate Cloud Desktop config. Add the server configuration. What is it doing? Create Cloud Desktop config file with Supabase MC. I don't want to connect Cloud Desktop file. No. I bet it's because I've added it to git ignore. Let me try that again. So I'll go to git ignore. I'll delete the file. I'll restart Cloud Code. Do you have access to the MCP? What's the name of it? Supabase MCP server. Yes, you have the Supabase server configured. shows is set up with project reference and an access token. Go ahead and check what tables exist in the Supabase project. No, it's just lying. It can see the file, but it doesn't have access. What is it reading? It's reading the local files, I bet. Yeah. The Supabase database contains comprehensive tracking. Go ahead and connect to the Supabase server, not the local files. So plan B. What is it? Let me check MCP tools. Available MCP functions. I don't see any MCP Supabase server tools available. Right. Okay, we'll go to plan B. I'll take this configuration and add it to Cloud Code, and I bet that will work. And we'll just have to do Claude, not Cloud Code, and we'll have to do all the Supabase changing using Claude, an external tool, not in VS Code. So I'll just delete this one. Right. So the way you do that, you open up the Claude app. Hi Sorin, how are you? An update is ready to install, not right now. So we're gonna, we go to Claude settings, I think. Yep, developer, edit config. And I'll just open this config on a separate screen so you guys don't see it. It looks fine to me. I'll save it and close it. And maybe restart Cloud Code. Cloud. I keep confusing the two tools. Right, and the connection should be in here, right? We got an update is ready to install. I have these connections. Can you connect to the Supabase MCP server? Can I access the specifiers that have been made available to me in this conversation environment? So maybe there's a problem with the configuration. So if I take a look at only thing I modified was I got rid of, yeah, let's keep MCP servers and see if it works. Alright, so let's open up the JSON. And instead of AMP MCP servers, I'll just leave MCP servers. Right. And now let me restart Claude. Supabase, there it is. So that was it. ChatGPT was lying to me. Incredible. Okay, so, but it's easier if I use it from Cloud Code. So I bet now it will also work in Cloud Code. So if I try to make MCP JSON, yep, and I'll just have the object name was MCP servers. That was the error. ChatGPT just confabulated I should put an AMP before it, which was complete bullshit. Now I'll save this. I'll make sure it's still in git ignore. Right, I'll get rid of all those other changes. Discard all 5 files. Great. Terminate. And now I think I'm ready to rerun it. Let's see. Cloud Opus, but it doesn't say anything about an MCP server. Do you have access to the Supabase? Is it working? It is right here, isn't it? Where is it? MCP JSON, yeah. Get project URL, yes. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Yes, MCP server is working. Great. Let's create all the necessary tables in the Supabase project using the MCP. Alright guys, so you saw I just had to delete the read-only param and it worked, but sometimes ChatGPT plays tricks on you, so I guess you'll have to double check it. Now it should work. Analyze, abstract, identify required tables, design database schema, create users table for authentication, set up role level. Apply migration. Success. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I have a Supabase instance here. I don't see any tables yet, but I'm optimistic. Create health metrics table. Let's refresh it. Yep. So they showed up. I have a health metrics table. I have a users table. Yeah, it's looking good, guys. Create daily summaries table for AI generated insights. Yeah, that's the one we need. My Loom recording has stopped at 1 hour. Curious if it's still working. Right, so let's retry signing in, right? Continue with password, sure. Sign in failed, user code. Message new row violates row level security policy. Right, but we'll fix this some other time. Yeah, let's pause it right here.